NBA Draft Day is complete, and boy, was it a hectic one. We had a huge blockbuster trade where Russell Westbrook was traded to the goddamn Los Angeles Lakers, yet that seemed like it was overshadowed by the craziness of the NBA draft. Though there weren't any major trades involving draft picks outside of the Lakers one, some of the selections were extremely interesting and very exciting for a lot of teams. One team I personally think did arguably the best with their selections today was the Houston Rockets. And yes, while I am a Rockets fan, from an unbiased standpoint, I still think the Rockets did the best job tonight outside of maybe Detroit, who I'll have a video on in the coming days. So, why are the Rockets the biggest winners of this draft? I'll be going over that in today's video. Before we start, if you're new here and enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe. For more NBA content like this, I'm going to be trying to upload daily over the next few days because I have a ton of things to talk about from today, so all support would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about the Houston Rockets. Let's talk about the Rockets' first selection of the draft, which was the second pick, and with that, they drafted Jaylen Green. In the end, this is a no-brainer move from the Rockets and is obviously a huge win for them. Green is a fluid scorer and is arguably one of the best offensive players in this draft class. His athleticism is fantastic and allows him to score around the rim in a variety of ways, but it also allows him to excel as a cutter, which I personally think would be very important to have alongside John Wall and Kevin Porter Jr. Green's scoring touch in general is very good too. He's crafty with his dribble moves and has pulled off many elite moves this past season, such as his underrated stepbacks. He's also great in the pick and roll as a ball handler, which is a promising sign to place next to Christian Wood. The thing that excites me the most about Green though was his ability to excel against professional players. The G League is a legit competition, filled to the brim with NBA caliber talent. For him to be as successful as he was leading that team is very promising that he will be a quality player at the highest level. To me, he checks a lot of the boxes for offensive creation that the Rockets lacked this past season, so I can see him being the leader of the second unit initially and adding offensive depth to that area of the Rockets roster and probably working his way into the starting lineup. His combination with Kevin Porter Jr. is what excites me the most though, especially because of the way KPJ has quickly developed an elite playmaking game. Green's off-ball capability, thanks to his athleticism, will allow him to be a major beneficiary of KPJ's ever-expanding game. So combining the two together gives me a lot of hope for the future. To a lot of scouts, Jaylen Green goes first overall in probably any other draft class, so I'm extremely glad we selected him with the second overall pick, and I believe he's a guy we are going to run with for a long time. He's a potential franchise cornerstone and could bring a lot of success to the team long term, which is great to think about from a Rockets fan's perspective because we only just entered the rebuild. So again, I'm super pleased with this pickup. But Jaylen Green isn't the only great selection that the Rockets made. Houston also traded up to the 16th pick, originally owned by OKC, as we gave them 2 future first rounders. As a result, we got Erkan Sengun, a European prospect who has shown really good potential in his EuroLeague stint. The reason why I love his selection the most is because of his fit on Houston. One problem for the Rockets exiting this past season was they had a lack of rim protection. Kelly Olynyk and Christian Wood were great offensively, but on the defensive side of the ball struggled sometimes, particularly against some of the better bigs in the league. We got torn apart by guys like Adebayo and Jokic. Sengun though is a great rim protector, standing at 6'10", and he averaged over 1.5 blocks per game in the Turkish league, where, by the way, he won the MVP. Those are very promising signs, and though he may still take some time to develop to make a major impact at the highest level, he's got the potential to be a great fit next to Christian Wood and be a guy that can bolster our front court depth in the future. there's a lot of people who have high hopes for Sengun, and they believe he could transition into the NBA easily. And while personally I haven't seen enough of Sengun to give my true overall opinion, he overall seems like a really good pickup in my eyes. Again, his defensive potential excites me the most, and it's why I'm a fan of this pickup, though I do understand some concerns with his game. In the end though, it seems like this was a consensus W pickup for the Rockets, and I'm pretty excited about what he can bring to the table. The Rockets had 2 more selections in the first round, and at pick 23, they took Umar Garuba, another European prospect. Again, like Sengun, I probably need to watch some more tape to fully understand how talented he is and whether he was a good selection. But on paper, I do like it. Garuba has been labelled as one of the best defenders in this draft class, and again, as I said earlier, the Rockets need rim protection. It was a major weakness of theirs throughout 2021. Garuba seems to be a guy, perhaps even more so than Sengun, who can strengthen that area and provide value to the Rockets on that end, assisting Christian Wood in a department where he is not so great. However, he hasn't only showed signs of being a great rim protector, but also a fantastic perimeter defender as well. He can be very versatile, so I'm excited to see him develop under Silas. As you probably saw, if you watched the draft at pick 23, Garuba did not walk on stage to meet Adam Silver. That's because, right now, he's in Tokyo, playing for Spain in the Olympics. I think that just proves his caliber of talent. Spain is an excellent team internationally and are a favourite to take some medal home with them after the tournament. For him to be playing with them right now shows the type of player he is and the potential that he has to be even better. A high potential forward with already some fantastic defensive instincts. In my view, it's a great fit to the Rockets' young core, especially alongside some hard-nosed guys like Jaylen Green. He's definitely the most underrated pickup for the Rockets this draft day, and hopefully I've explained why he's a great pickup for the Rockets moving forward. He can be a really decent talent behind C. Wood. The Rockets' final selection of the day was Joshua Christopher, and this pickup surprised me but in a good way. Christopher was teammates with Jaylen Green in high school, so to see them pair up is a feel-good story. The two already have great chemistry, and I think Christopher's high energy, explosive play will be a spark that the Rockets can utilize off of the bench. It's a good pickup from Houston and overall solidified them as one of the biggest winners, if not the biggest winner, of the 2021 NBA draft. The Rockets were quickly shot into a rebuild just a few months ago after James Harden departed via a trade, but I think it's fair to say they've been able to turn things around from a team of dismay to hope very quickly. The picks that they made tonight were excellent and all make sense in terms of how they're building this team and where they want to go. The young core of this team is looking amazing now, with Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood, and now Jaylen Green headlining the squad. Chuck in their other selections from tonight and Jaylen Green, even Dante Exum 2, who's been balling at the Olympics, this team is heading in the right direction. They've exemplified that point tonight, and it's why I have to say, even if it does seem a bit biased, that the Houston Rockets were the biggest winners of the 2021 NBA draft. As a fan of this team, the future is looking bright, and I cannot wait to see what's next. And that will conclude the video. What do you guys think of this? Who were the biggest winners of draft day to you? What are your thoughts on the Houston Rockets selections? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.